guys! Today we're doing something a little bit different because I got kicked out of the house and it's my birthday this week. I got kicked out of the house because my sister's baking me a cake and wants to be a surprise because she's adorable. And yeah, so we're gonna go out around PG. There's a winter carnival and we're gonna bring you along. So this is my husband Dalen. You can speak.
Are you sure?
You're allowed.
I'm allowed to speak? That's awesome. Excellent.
Alright, let's go. We headed down 5th Street. It was a nice warm day, only like 1 degree Celsius. And then we went down historic George Street, the oldest street in Prince George. We got a little peek at the Crossroads microbrewery, which I'm very excited to see open, hopefully soon. I love microbreweries and I'm so stoked to have one close to us. We walked into the Winter Carnival put on by Downtown PG. PG has been trying to revitalize the downtown for a while now, and this is a great effort to bring the community together and add vibrancy to the northern city. Down another one of the roads, we jammed out to some tunes put on by a local DJ while booths were set up to sell s'mores. They had little campfires for you to roast your s'mores on, and you could get a whole variety of different ones. There were 2 different s'mores in this booth. The s'mores the little kid is looking at are a marshmallow on top of a brownie, while there are some wrapped ones with a marshmallow dipped in chocolate and nuts. One booth even had maple syrup and ice cream. Only Canadians eat ice cream in the winter and then slather it in maple syrup. People were throwing snowballs at their family members, and there was a field filled with color. I called these the unicorn killing fields. I have no idea what happened here, but it looked both happy and destructive. We came across a Canfor mascot, an anthropomorphized piece of lumber, and then passed over to an area where a kids' snow playland was built. There were tunnels covered in snow for families to play in, and it had a really sweet ice slide that I was pretty jealous of. Then we moved over to the area where skiers and snowboarders were hanging out and trying out tricks. Oh yeah.
Or want to try?
Afterwards, we moved over to the snow-covered lawn in front of City Hall and saw a cool snow sculpture being created. It seemed like City Hall was the center for art. After the snow sculpture, we saw a neat ice throne that you could take photos on while Journey blasted in the background.
It's a little chair! It's a little throne!
Then we moved on to this neat piece of sculpture created by David Jacob Harder. It's a comment on the impact humans have on nature. We then moved on to this piece, which we were lucky enough to hear him talk about. The music was really loud where we were standing, so I'm just going to have to tell you what he said. He said this is all part of one tree, as he pointed to the different pieces that were around the area. It was about 60 or 70 years old, and I found it in the bush where someone had cut it down, even though it was still green. He talked about how the sun illuminated the ice earlier when it was shining. He talked about the wood sitting on the ice, and said they'll heat up over the day, and once they've been there for a while, they'll actually begin to show that ring pattern. Then we moved on to the train that was ferrying little passengers around a loop. After we completed our rounds, we went over to the Black Clover to eat some food and play some darts, where Dalen won some, and then I won some. We're both on last bullseye. We're playing cricket over here, and look, we're all matched all the way till the end. Who will get the last bullseye? Who will be victory? Who will be victorious?
I will be victory. I'm all about.
We're not even drinking. It was a pretty intense competition to be the first person to be victory, but I pulled it off. I am victory. I am. It was a good day hanging out with Dalen, checking out some new stuff in our city. I loved seeing different art, whether it was the tree sculptures or the unicorn killing fields or just playing darts. I hope you had a great family day, which was a holiday here in BC, and I'll see you next week for a speed painting that I'm really excited to show you. Ciao!